why not talk about it tonight? What did you think about the way that was going down the stretch in the regular in regulation?
Yeah, I'd have to watch it back to give you a really clear picture, but one or two mistakes, but we also missed two layups, the game's over. So the last play was funky too. The kid trips on the ball and is rolling around on it. And I think our guys fanned out to 3-point shooters because that's the only way we could lose the game. And he stands up and makes a shot. So of course you could say we made a mistake or two down the stretch, but more importantly, if we had made a couple layups, game was over. So still plenty to build on, but lots of positives as well.
Do you see this as being an evolution from maybe some of your earlier games when you were looking at that defense in those crunch minutes?
Yeah, I think we're improving on that side of the ball. Over time we held them to 5 points. We had good stretches, a couple poor quarters, but I think the first quarter we held them to 21. So there were stretches where our defense was really solid. But we recognize that it's going to be something we have to work on and address every night for the rest of the year and continue to get better at.
Bruce Beck, NBC New York.
Steve, what about the way your ball club respond right there, especially at the beginning of overtime, making your first 3 shots, kind of putting the memory quickly in the background and focusing on the task at hand?
Yeah, it was a great response. You miss a couple bunnies and they make a shot at the buzzer. You could fold. You could think it's not our night. You could drop your head a little bit. You could come out and lack confidence, but we came out with confidence, made big shots, defended, rebounded, and took care of business in overtime. So a great response from our guys after a disappointing last, minute or so.
Alex Schiffer, The Athletic.
Hey, Steve, would you make a Knicks game, career night for him? And then it looked like he had an ankle and a hit in the face. Just how's he feeling after all that?
I haven't spoke to him, frankly. Just got here. So, he was great. His activity was outstanding. Made a few mistakes, but so did everyone. And he showed some ability. He got fouls, blocked shots, steals, went to the basket and scored, made free throws. So really proud of his ball game tonight. It was a big part of our win, and he can continue to get better.
Christian Winfield, New York Daily News.
Hey, Coach, similar question, but for Bruce. This is 5th straight game, I think, in double-digit scoring. Just have you seen him kind of start getting comfortable in the offense and where he can find his shots? And then he also hit a 3 tonight, maybe more than one. What did you think about just his development as a perimeter threat as well?
Well, it's great when he makes threes, but that's not why we put him on the floor. When he makes them, we're happy for him, and hopefully he continues to develop that part of his game. But when he's out there rolling in the basket and they're scared of James or Kai, and he can, play 2-on-1 or 3-on-2 and finish at the rim, he's found a niche there. And, like I said, I really, really admire his ability to roll and finish and make plays. He plays so hard, so much energy. He took the ball in the basket coast to coast a few times tonight as well. So, he expanded his game a little offensively tonight, but, that's a bonus. We love Bruce because he's such a competitor and fighter, and he's really clever at kind of playing that role or position as a guard.
Mark Medina, USA Today.
Hey, Steve. I know part of this has to do with James's talent, but what else has jumped out to you as far as his ability to blend his game together with the rest of the group, regardless of who's on the floor?
Well, he's a brilliant basketball player. He makes others better. He can get to the line. He can finish in the paint, and he's always a threat from 3. So he literally can do almost everything there is to do out there, and he's been a great leader for us. So he can control the game. He's a very smart defender. I think he's been outstanding as far as just keeping his team on track, leading, talking things out, communicating, and his passion for the game and willingness and want to win is fantastic.
Sirat Sohi, Yahoo Sports.
Hey, Steve. I just had 2 questions related to Bruce. First of all, what does it do for a defense when a guy communicates at the level that he does? It seems like he's talking a ton. And when did you realize that he could be a roller for you guys?
Yeah, Bruce is a terrific defender. He works so hard at it. He's aware of the game plan and our schemes, so he communicates well. I just realized that if he's going to play, he's probably going to have to be a slasher, roller, play on the dunker position. And, that's not an easy thing to do for guards who haven't spent their career doing that, but he's picked it up so quickly. He's finished around the rim. He's now very comfortable in those spaces and those positions. And, it's been amazing how he's developed into that role. And I just thought it was a way to keep him on the floor so that he can defend for us. And, he's turned into now an offensive threat because he's accepted that role and he's done fantastic.
Brian Lewis, New York Post.
Hey, Steve, can you hear me?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Hey. I'm just curious as twofold with Nick. I mean, I know you touched on it, but I mean, when you look at the small, tiny sample size that he's had, has this advancement come even faster than you would expect? And secondly, I know we're in the afterglow of this game, but just in case we don't get you tomorrow, I'm curious about James and if you can sense whether if there's any added incentive for him going back to Houston.
Yeah, I mean, Nick, we know the talent. We all believe in Nick's, ability and what he brings to the table. But sometimes that development takes time. Sometimes, you can be quite error prone, especially when you haven't played a lot of basketball. But his ability to move his feet really makes up for, a lot of things on the floor. He can defend multiple positions. He's so active. Even when he gets overpowered, he makes it really difficult on bigger bigs. So Nick's been, obviously tonight was his breakout game, but, he's got to continue to develop, know the game plan, gain experience and confidence. But tonight he was great, and we all believe in him and think he can continue to improve. I think the Houston game means a lot to James. A very special place for him. Had some unbelievable years, MVP years, and I think going back there is definitely something that is special to him and means a lot.
Simone Sandri, La Gazzetta dello Sport.
Sorry about that. Hey, Steve, in the last 2 minutes of regulation, you shot early in the shot clock. In those situations, should you try to play with the clock?
Yeah, I mean,
or these teams just should play to his strength?
It's a good question. I mean, I think sometimes we play to our strengths. Sometimes we want to run clock, but they were doubling. They were trapping, running out at James or Kai. So they're getting the ball out of his hands. And if that's the case, they might not get it back. So we have to take the advantage, I think, in those scenarios and try to score. While we have the advantage, I think that if we try to pull it back out and they deny it to those guys, we're not going to get as good an opportunity as a 2-on-1 or 3-on-2 when they double them. So I think that was a big part of it. We definitely sometimes play a little quickly or go a little early, but you also want to give the players the freedom and comfort to play and use their personalities to win the game. But I think they were doubling tonight, so it got the ball out of their hands and we had to play 2-on-1, 3-on-2 and take what we had because we may not get it back to those two guys.
Last question, Christian Winfield.
Hey, Coach, a lot of players and coaches hold Pop in just this amazing, they just revere him as a head coach. I'm just wondering just what it meant for you to come into San Antonio and snap the drought. I think it was NBA Finals in 2003. That was the last time you guys won here. And on top of that, just I know you as a player didn't go into your NBA career with any coaching, I guess, looking for, inspiration from other coaches because you probably didn't know that you were going to be a coach while you were a player. But did you have, once you made the decision to be a coach, were there any other coaches that you kind of drew from as inspiration before taking the job?
Well, I think I'm mostly influenced by all the coaches I played for, learning a lot of all their different personalities, all the different things that the values that they share or that they individually have. And I think I'm probably, an amalgamation of all those values and characteristics in some way. Pop is, he's a legend. He's one of the all-time great coaches in any sport. So we all revere him. We all, really admire and value his role in the history of this game and all the things he's been able to accomplish and the sustained excellence of this program, is incredible. I mean, they don't beat themselves and they find a way to get the most out of their group, no matter if it's Timmy Duncan or if it's, another season where they don't have those guys. So Bob is an unbelievable coach and someone I admire greatly.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Good night.